Oh. You never go emo night before, ah? No? You don't know Bowling for Soup? What kind of music you all listen to last time?
Hi guys, welcome to the first official episode of Zula Guides. I'm Leah, and in today's episode, I'll be taking you to 3 different locations to do some vintage shopping. So what exactly are vintage clothes? They are pieces that have been made 20 to about 100 years ago, and I'm sure you guys have a rough idea of what these pieces look like. But for me, what comes to mind is actually those midi A-line dresses with prints that actually resemble your curtains. I'm just being honest lah, okay? But a lot of people also associate vintage shopping with thrifting, but not all secondhand clothes are actually vintage. So today, let's find out what makes these shops different. Let's go! Okay, so we're at our first location, which is Dust Bunny Vintage, and I'm here with the owner, Pia. And Pia, please tell us a little bit more about Dust Bunny Vintage.
Dust Bunny Vintage specializes in vintage clothing for women and accessories too. We've been doing this since 2003. We like dressing women in clothes from the 1960s, 1970s, and 1980s. Every piece is one of a kind and unique. You're not going to find another one like that out there.
I'm excited to know about the history of the pieces because that's something that, like, in
Yes.
vintage clothes, history is very important, right?
Each piece has a different history. It's made in a different era. So the tailoring style, the type of the quality of fabric, they're all different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how we also are able to identify the age of the dress because a lot of clients want to know.
I think I'm ready to go take a look around, so let's go. I like
We
this.
have this very school girlish look
Oh my
here.
god, I like
It's very pretty.
Wow, I love the
Yes,
details
the
on the
details.
sleeves as well.
So now you can see that vintage clothing is very rich in details.
Yeah.
As we go into the 60s, it becomes louder.
Yes,
becomes
I do
more
know.
revealing. You have to accessorize it.
Yes.
Put a denim jacket over it.
So
Yeah,
you would
just
recommend to wear it with
yes.
a bit more like modern
Yes.
kind of pieces.
Yeah. This is too much.
For me, a little bit too much, a little bit. Do you design? Oh! Sorry, I got so excited. Sorry. I really like this. Let me give it a try. Thank you. I'm very not used to having it like.
Yeah, just a drop waist.
Yeah. The vibe is very like young, right?
Yeah.
I like that it's long. But I think I wouldn't wear this top inside. I will wear something a
Something,
bit
yeah.
higher. Nobody
Yeah.
makes these kind of silhouettes
Yeah.
anymore. People should. It's nice.
The length is okay.
Yeah, surprisingly, it's not. I'm not stepping on it or anything. Vintage shopping, right? Is that you don't know if the pieces that you like have your size. It just reminds me a bit more of like Oriental, or like it could be a very formal like wedding like outfit or something. And I think it's also quite cute that I'm wearing it with like sneakers. I really look like a schoolgirl going
But
to.
it fits you exactly.
I feel that here it's a bit high for me. Usually I wear the bit more looser high neck tops.
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
that is one of the main characteristics and features of 1950s and 1960s
Uh-huh.
dresses because it looks more demure that way.
Oh my god, I like it. I really like it a lot.
It's really a princess.
It's really a princess, yeah. Even if it's a bit more girly, right? There's always ways to style it to make it look a bit more edgy if you want it to. And I think this would be super good for like if you're going for formal events and weddings. Okay, so I tried out all the items from the store, and I think my favorites were actually the very long red dress because it's something like super unconventional that I would have never tried on my own, and I've never even seen in like stores nowadays. The other piece that I really liked as well, as you can tell from my screaming, is the floral dress with the ribbons. I really love the details, like the fact that there's ribbons, the fact that there's like specks of glitter in it. So the clothing pieces here have a lot of detail. So it seems like the person put a lot of thought into making the pieces, which I think a lot of people can appreciate. I do appreciate as well. The pieces here are actually definitely a bit more on the pricey side because they are one of a kind pieces that you cannot find anywhere else. So with that said, let's head on to our next shop, which is...
Hello everybody! Mandan here. So basically Leah's a bit of a clogged up nose, sore throat, a bit flu so she's practicing some good social distancing. I'm supposed to be just a guest on this episode, but guess who is the host right now? We're at our second store, Dev's Threads. So without further ado, let's go in. Right now, I'm with Josh, one of the co-founders of Death Threats. So right, can you tell me more about like the store and all your vibes?
Yeah, so basically we started in 2017, we moved here in 2018 and we pride ourselves on mainly our curation on pop culture, from like movies to music to animation to artists. That's what we personally like and that's what we try to bring to the crowd here in Singapore as well.
So now that we have a better understanding of Death Threats and what you all have, right, let's go look around. Hey, this is proper childhood. You all know the song? Oh, 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 oh. You all never go Emo Night before? Vintage store got Game of Thrones one.
Pieces like Game of Thrones, for example, although not vintage, we will still consider bringing them in because they are also part of pop culture history. And for the most part, our store is majority vintage.
I found this very interesting t-shirt. Like, it is everything Nike, but it's just that the front here, when it says Surprise, just threw me off. And then it says Shears Bridge Run.
So locally, the Shears Bridge Run was organized in the 90s. And back then, Nike were endorsing such events, so therefore they printed this shirt. So it's really crazy. It's a part of Singapore's like local history as well.
I would never imagine, right, something as local as Safra, right, to be collaborating with Nike. They have a Tokyo Ghoul merch here. Found jeans also, and it's by Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, they did their own clothing brand back in the day as well. So it's damn sick to find Wu-Tang branded denim.
Josh, basically, right, usually every other day actually, I wear this outfit. You want to recommend me an outfit or a piece that will get me like straight out of that comfort zone?
Let's say you were to choose something equally loud for your bottoms. Maybe an oversized big graphic t-shirt. Imagine you pick this with this.
Honestly, I'm not feeling the bottoms as much. So I'm going to find something that is a bit more plain, but with prints also. So if you look at something like this, right, we have like a solid color blocking going on with the pants, and there are like Aztec prints also. After that entire hour of shopping, right, I think I'm really feeling this place there. They have like vintage pieces. There's also a mixture of like very current pop culture references. You have the Game of Thrones, you have the Kermits, you have the Cos and Babe, which is like my favorite piece. And if you like anime inspired pieces, right, this is the place that you can get all these pieces from. That concludes our time at Death Threats, and we will see you at the next location. Now we are with Paul, the co-founder of Retrogate.
Hello.
So right off the bat, right, what is this place about? Like, share with me what inspired this place.
So actually I started Retrogate at a Tai Seng factory, but essentially because I was a dancer last time and a lot of our customers were dancers, musicians, so we do events based off music, dance, just to champion sort of the street culture and the youths that are within it.
So what are the kind of apparels that you have here at Retrogate?
Mostly t-shirts. We do have windbreakers, sneakers and even caps. Why mostly t-shirts? Because in Singapore, it's the most practical that we sell here.
That sounds like right up my alley actually.
Yes.
So I'm excited to see what we have. Oh my god, we just ventured into windbreaker territory. This is unlike the Tommy Hilfiger that we know. The Tommy that we know these days, right? They have a very clean look, a very slick silhouette. You have very heavy duty cuffs. They even have a hood, which is neon yellow. Anyway, right, since Leah is not here, might as well pick out an outfit for her, right? What can Leah not wear? Leah can style Decathlon stuff already. I just saw these two pieces. They look like they are from the same collection with very similar motifs and very similar color scheme. The fabric, right, is the gao kind. It's definitely keep you warm if you go to like 13, 14 degrees weather in Japan. Do you think Leah will fit this? Oh yeah, she can do oversized. See, Leah can do everything.
What can you do, Mandan?
What can I do? I can pull my skin very long here. They have caps also. This one just says Subway. Either merch or you're an employee there. Oh my goodness. They have this like jumpsuit thingy for Dragon Ball Z. Honestly, it looks a bit small lah. Like, I think it's for kids. The sizing over here, right, is 110. It's quite cool that they have clothes not just for like guys or girls, but they have clothes that are catering to kids also lah. This makes me think that I can go back to the 70s. Bell-bottom jeans, tie-dye top, and just vibe out on the lawn chair. Leah will totally rock this lah. Do you wear this with like that black colour skirt that she wear? And then with boots. This would be something that she would wear for sure on a daily basis, sort of. So we're not gonna pick this for her. And I also like found this piece. I think what grabbed my attention was that the amount of colors that there are on top. This piece, right, can be styled with just solid looking denim jeans lah. I can just easy catch lah. I catch two easies already. Then I catch some more, the Off-White collab lah. But you gotta take note lah that they are often out of stock just because of how hyped these items are. After shopping at Retrogate, I found a lot of cool things here actually. Yeah. Like when you think about a vintage store, right, you would think of something that is more 80s, something more 90s. You wouldn't think of like Adidas, Nike, Pharrell Williams collaboration or Dirty Nuts collaborations lah. So that was one piece that astounded me. If you're looking for pieces that can withstand Singaporean weather, this is the place to get it also. There are like racks after racks of very versatile t-shirt lah. If you're looking for simple basics but with a certain flair to it, Retrogate is the place to shop at.
Thank you, Menden, for covering me while I was gone. Please update me on how it was at the shops.
The first place we went to was Death Threads. So they specialize in like pop culture icons. They specialize in like bands. They have anime tees also. Right up my alley lah.
Menden
Not
style.
anything like this.
But it's okay, try something new, right? I think
Okay.
this is a good look on you.
So this is what we got at Retrogate, which is the second store that I went without you.
Yes.
They are basically a event slash music slash dance space, but they have this like small section. It's all vintage clothing like these. So what the
okay,
owners
okay.
do, right? They actually go to like other countries to curate, to find the items that they
yeah.
want, and then that's why they bring cool things like this lah. This is from Nike. Personally, I would actually go to Death Threads more. Because the selection there is basically my style lah. They have anime there leh.
Yes, I know. I think the anime is already like, Menden!
Yeah.
You know, like my whole impression of vintage clothing has always been the very typically a bit more like retro, not as like fashionable kind of style. But then I think nowadays like fashion is always like evolving and it's always like throwback to like what era over and over again. So I think vintage clothing is basically things that are classics throughout time lah.
Like you can wear this in the 80s, 90s, like 2000s or right now, right?
Yeah.
And it will still look good.
So I think the great part about vintage shopping, right, is that you can interact with the owners there and then you can ask them about the history of the pieces that you're buying there. I think some owners also mentioned that not all their items are vintage pieces, even though they brand themselves as vintage stores. So if you go there, do remember to check out the tags and the labels and just ask the owners there to kind of give you some clarification on like the pieces lah. Okay, so with that said, we have come to the end of this episode. Thank you for watching 3/4 Menden and 1/4 Leah on this episode. And if you like this video, please leave a comment down below on which store you like the most and also where else we should check out next time. Bye-bye!
Bye,
Oh my god!
bye.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe!
Yes!
Bye!
Like, share, subscribe. Bye!